email. If you guys want some additional classes, one-on-one training, you want to sit, if you want to come sit in some classes, I'm sure that's fine as well. Yeah. So if you want to come and observe classes, we are looking at making like a little almost training videos, like maybe put up a few video cameras in the class, do the class, edit it nice, and give like kind of a mock class. Obviously, the problem there is you don't want to be too prescriptive, but there are certain rules. So there is more training available. If you guys want one-on-one training, I will give you a little test at the end that you can email back to me, and I'll check and I'll write back comments and stuff. And yeah, so that's just some general things with regards to that. Okay, I want to get on to some more fun stuff. Okay, I don't want to talk that much anymore. So what to expect? This is a PowerPoint I will email to everybody. This is my intro PowerPoint that I do with students because they walk into the class, they don't know what to expect, and kind of, yeah. So I basically tell them, listen here guys, if you want to do well in the test, boom, this is how most of the questions start. And then obviously go through it, tell them, okay, can you make a question with are you?
Are you feeling well today?
Yes, good. Can you do a question with is there?
Is there hair on your head?
Sometimes. What kind? Of hair is on your head?
What kind of English teacher comes to Hanoi to teach?
Yeah, that's actually quite a good.
Bigger.
What, Jade, why did you stand up just now? Can you make a question with why did you?
Sorry,
Why did you? Can you make a question with that?
why did you stay there?
Where? Okay, good. Then, for an example, no offense, Jay. If a student, you were all students now, if a student asks why did you stay there, I would tell them, okay, but the question will be more specific. Why did you stay at home that night? So the questions, who? Can you make a question with who?
Who do you love?
No.
That's my question.
Extremely complex question. Okay. And then obviously, so with the students, this is the opening class I do with all students. So if you guys teach IELTS, I show them, just give them a background so they don't stress and they feel more comfortable with what they're going to do. And then as I did now, I let all of them make questions with this. Okay, that makes sense? Yeah? Okay, then I do this with them. It's an example of a creative PowerPoint. Do you remember when I told you how I break up a 3-hour class? So this is obviously my intro for the first class. And then I'm like, choose a topic and make up 3 questions connected to it, ask your partner. And then, you can choose a topic. Let's say your topic is future plans. Can you ask your partner 3 questions about her future plans?
How long do you plan on teaching English in Hanoi?
Would you like me to answer?
Yes, please.
Forever.
Okay, very good. Sorry, I'm being silly now. Very good, guys. Now remember, in IELTS, you must speak full sentences. So always answer his question by repeating it. Say, he said, how long do you plan to teach English? In my opinion, I think I like to teach English forever. Maybe in Hanoi and afterwards in Czechoslovakia.
What, with the time machine?
Yes, exactly, that's why. But just to, you understand, so you can kind of, so then I explain to them when they do the questions. So let's do one more topic. Studies. Can you ask your partner 3 questions about studies?
What do you study?
I study English and videography.
What is your favorite topic in English?
My favorite topic in English is speaking.
Okay, good, but you understand. And then, so you can see now, if you were students, it's good if they talk to each other. And obviously, you all did very well for your first English class. You did use these kind of questions, and you did put it into context. Obviously, these are all topics apart from IELTS, but these are all topics that you will come across if you start teaching in your group. So I think it's good. The first class, I normally introduce them to a bunch of the topics, so it's kind of subconsciously, they're aware of it. I also do a lot of video editing and videography.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Chat after.
Yeah. So this is just an example of, and then we do keywords practice. We choose the keywords. So at the first one, who does the cooking in your family or house? What would you say is the two keywords in the first question?
Who cooking family?
Yes, very good. And then we can explain to them, obviously, our words. Especially in Vietnamese, I found a lot of students don't use terms like the and and. They tend to not use it in speaking. So they might say, who does cooking in your family? Or not you. Maybe like, who does cooking in your family? So then I'm like, see guys, so explain yes, you guys use the keywords, and then, like explain to them like how to do full sentences. Second one, when travel abroad. Obviously, I would say, what? Doing 10 years. When? Last time. Or family. Because if I say extended family, I always want to know family. We use extended to explain family, and things like that. And then what? Weekend. So that's two. So this is a nice little interesting thing to tell them how to look at questions, because they're going to be asked questions in the test, and these are typical questions that you will be asked in your IELTS test. So
My trainer, when I was doing my SALTUS, explained keywords as basically if you lose all the other words, can you still understand the sentence?
yeah. Who cook?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's for them as well a good strategy if you teach them how to identify keywords, because then you don't have that because they try and think of everything, but you're 100% right. So I teach them learning a bit. Unfortunately, a bit part of our job is also, teaching them how to teach themselves how to learn, if that makes sense. So yes, and then you can see now you can guess the question. So number one.
What books do you like?
Yes, good. Number two. Ma'am, number two.
Study.
That's a bit.
Can you tell me what do you like best in your studies?
What do you like best in your? Okay, good. Yes, good. That is a good question. Number three. Anybody?
Is your hometown any good after dark?
Definitely after dark. Yes. Good. Number four. Anybody?
What's your first name and family name?
Good. Easy one. And number five is a question that I get asked all the time. Simple one. Yes, have you been to any English-speaking countries? So, yeah. And then this I already discussed with you guys. This is how I teach. This is how I teach vocabulary. So we can all do it differently, but I do it through paraphrasing. So I'm like, what's a different word for accommodation? Housing, and then we write down the different words for accommodation. What's a different word for, we don't have to do all What's a different word for on the internet?
Online.
Online, browsing, surfing. What's a different word for overseas? Abroad.
Traveling.
Traveling. So this for me is how I teach in IELTS, how I tend to teach vocabulary, because there's vocabulary in the book, and then I take that vocabulary, explain it, and then I let them, broaden that word, because like I say in the test, you can't keep on using the same word in every sentence. Yes.
If you're introducing new words they're not familiar with, do you have any techniques for how to like drive those home?
Normally I ask, and I might get into trouble for saying this, but I just ask them what's the Vietnamese word for it. And if they tell me, then I check if that's the right word, and then I'm like, okay, so that's the same. It just saves time.
Associated.
And then, and then obviously explain it as well, just through an example sentence like, what's a good one? Hometown. So I would literally explain, like, I live in Hanoi now, but I was born in Johannesburg, South Africa, so that is my hometown. So just explain it to them via giving them an example. So I normally give them an example from my own life, or I just literally do the translation, like this is what the word means. Because the problem for me, at least, maybe you can add to it, because I never completed it myself, but what do they say? Like, I don't really like vocabulary. Unfortunately, is something you learn. It's not something, I don't know how to.
I usually try and get the others to answer the question.
No, I
So,
do.
yeah, I mean, for example, for reading, I tend not to use the keywords because or the set vocabulary because they might already know it. So instead I tell them to find 4 words they don't know, and then we go through that together on the board. And if one of them comes that I write down a note, accommodation, for example, I was like, okay class, what does accommodation mean? And usually somebody does know it. And that's co-teaching rather than me sort of just laying it on from up high.
Co-teaching is a very good way. Also, if you have students from different, in your class with different levels, I sometimes, because we obviously treat all people the same, hopefully, rather than on account of, their knowledge or whatever. So I kind of use that co-teaching as a method as well. If there's a student that's really talkative and that is on a higher level, which is a relative concept, but than the other students, I kind of let that student do a lot of I play stupid, basically. I'm like, I don't really know. Do you know? Okay, can you explain to me? Then I do that a lot. So I really play very dumb sometimes. Like, I don't know. I just tell them I don't know. I mean, they're not stupid. They probably know. I do know, but it does help. The little wise Alec in class anyway enjoys it too. And then obviously, this is just a method, like you can see, we always go back. So the first one we talked about questions, and then it moves on, and you remind them, oh, but we're talking about questions. So then we go back to the original thing, which in this one is in the, and then I just explain to them how to add information to your answer. What's the famous, okay, this is China, obviously, but what's the most famous dish from your country? Peking duck. Where is your hometown? Soup. And then I'm like, no, come on, give me you always think of, as we said earlier, who, what, where, why, how, when. So, with the first one, Peking duck, which, if you have to make 2 sentences, which ones do you think would be the best?
How do you make it?
How do you make it? It's a good one. So you can say, what? The most famous dish from our country, but then paraphrase, not dish. The thing we most like to eat in our country is Peking duck. How? It is made by cooking a duck for 5 years. Yeah. But you know what I mean. So I always teach them those strategies, like 2 sentences and ask yourself questions. Same with your hometown is obviously where, and then you can explain exactly where it is by using directions. Any questions here? I think it's pretty elementary. Yeah. Okay, now this is not what I really planned to show you, and it's a bit of a silly one, but it's terribly designed because I actually learned it from the internet. but come on. For an example, what we talked about earlier, like, which I find where creative thought helps a lot, because as an example.
Sorry, can we do create your own country? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, sure. I just want to quickly show you this thing. I'm just going to be like a second. Like the idioms one, well, not a second. Oh, you can just see them on the side. If we're not going to go through the whole one. So as an example, I'm like, what does hit the books mean? And then they really don't know. What do you think hit the books mean?
Hit the books?
Yeah. Like, hit the books.
Yes, that's what I understand about that.
Okay, but it's not. And then I explain to them, an idiom is something you say, but it's difficult to guess the meaning from the words. So hit the books means to study hard. Eh? And la 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 la. And then I'm like, what does break a leg mean? What does break a leg mean?
Yes, the picture.
No! It means good luck.
Oh.
And then I explained to them, do you know why it means good luck? Because in the Middle Ages, people were acting on stage, and the thing started, and if you go through and break your leg, you were a good actor, because it's like, I made that up. I told it. And I'll never forget it. But because I don't actually know. Yeah, so then what I did, then obviously I go through a bunch of them, give them examples, blah, 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 blah. And then, as you can see, there's a bunch. And then they have to guess the idiom by the pictures. So, what's this? And then at the end of this, see, this is why I had to do the PowerPoint. And at the end of this, I'm like, okay, what do these ones mean? And there's no hint. It's just boom. And then they guess, and I let them speak, like they can guess whatever, you know. And then after I do an exercise where, okay, make your own idiom. And then I give them 5 minutes or whatever to come up with their own idioms. And I think this helps a lot, although in the book it's not necessarily there. But yeah, your speaking test, if you know 10 or 12 idioms you can use, it really, really helps you in performing better, you know, because it's kind of, it shows you kind of. The create your own country thing is, there is a lesson in the book that talks about political systems, industry, all these things. I don't think military terms is in there, but I can't remember. I need to edit this one actually, because I did this one actually a while ago with a class that had a book that had all of this in. Yeah, but this is for an example of a group project where, let's say, we talked about government or terms, or which does happen in the more business-orientated IELTS courses. They all stuff like this, where I'm like, first I just show them, you know, give them a bit of a background of the words, and then here's your assignment. So in a group of 3 or 4, create your own country and make your own rules. When you are finished, you present your country to the class. Here is some guidelines. You don't have to follow these guidelines. You can say whatever you want. But if you need some tips, you can say what's your political system, your industries, your official languages, marriage age, military, screw military anyway, educational system, 3 things that are legal, 3 things that are illegal. Okay, so 5 minutes, create your own country. Boom, 2. Yeah, you know I do it. Fook Island.
Yeah.
I've been to that. Yeah, recently. Yeah, it's beautiful.
We do like
Country full of love. So the political system.
Obviously, with this, I do it's part of the mind map thing. So obviously,
Everybody
I
is
do.
king and queen.
Obviously, here, additionally, I tell them, okay, so our topic is create your own country. Create your own country. And then all the words in the book, I write down here, all the words in the book. And then, okay, guys, split it up into 6 things. Intro, and you can choose 3 of those, blah, 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 and then use whatever is in the book. If we talked about future tense, you know, do it in the future things. If we talk about past things, do it in whatever, and blah blah blah. So that's kind of how I do this one. You guys want to do this exercise, or
We're okay.
you're okay? Okay, but you understand as the students.
I want to get really political.
Exactly. Okay, no,
Well,
Rob.
yeah, that's-
You know where I come from.
The students really do enjoy this. They do enjoy projects like this. These are also good projects for homework projects. I'm not always, but it is good for homework projects, stuff like this. Obviously, you can tailor-make this for whatever. Create your own country, build your own car, I don't know, make up your own invention, whatever it might be, you can use the same. Whatever the topic is, you know. So I'll email you guys all of this stuff anyway. And then here, so this is more referring to additional stuff. Then, let's see, use current design your dream home. You can see it's basically, this is from the book. I'm just quickly going through them. I'll show you an example, more IELTS focused one. Now, but this is obviously also, let's talk about houses. And you start the class, you know, and you just talk, blah, 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 you know. And then you do the vocabulary. Obviously, this is, to answer your question earlier, a much more simple way where you literally just have a picture, you know. But this is a weird PowerPoint because I don't think people have billiards rooms in their houses anymore, but that's from in one of the books. It is, you know, this stuff all in there. And this is obviously all very idealistic, like, you know, there's a media room. So you just go through, yes, obviously just your vocabulary. And then you go through types of homes, which is a bit of cultural appropriation there, I would say. You know, then you're like, you know, but unfortunately that it is vocabulary. These things all have different names and it is types of, you know, and is this a home or not? Is this a home? What do you think is a home? Which home would you like to live in? And rooms. So here's another example. In groups, brainstorm as many rooms as you can in 1 minute and write them as a list. Imagine you've just moved from a small flat into a big house. I'm going to read out some pieces of furniture. You only have one of each thing. Decide which is the best room to put them in. Write the word next to that room on your list. Another way to teach them vocabulary and also a bit of on your feet thinking. And then there's your keywords for the day, and then you can combine them, obviously. And that is from the book, which you can just do if you want. And there's your house. And these are all the things that are important if you talk about houses. And that's from the book, and you get it. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then because they basically all, this is just how mine look, because they're a bit boring, because I do combine them with videos and other things. Where's the, what's this? Oh, this was the last class we did. Great. So this is typically,
Arnold.
you know this one. So this is typically what you do in class. This is very much more focused, IELTS. The previous few things, design your own country, whatever, that's more group projects, whatever. This is challenges. So, woo! Okay, got it from this one. So, what would you say you are addicted to technology? You have 30 seconds to answer the question, and you must use the word hooked. Obviously, sometimes I don't tell them what the word means in context, and then it's kind of humorous. If you have you've done the word, but before this you went through the vocabulary. You have 30 seconds to answer the question. You can use, there are on the internet, Scott's also has on their programming, there are stopwatches you can use. So you can put a stopwatch on and literally go like 1, 2, 3. Would you say you're addicted to technology? You've got 30 seconds, man. Let's go. Okay, but you didn't use the word hooked.
I did. I say I'm not hooked.
Maybe you've got the same problem as me, man. We talk too fast. And then I'd make a joke like and then like, okay, let's talk about it. And then we go through that. This is also a good one where you ask them, okay, everybody writes down a question and you put the questions in a hat and you pull a number and you say, oh, that was my question, then you must answer his question, he answers yours, like kind of this group thing. So this is typical IELTS stuff that happens in the text. You get asked the question and you have a short time. Obviously, here this is inventions, so this is how to make your answer more detailed. Then you explain to them, oh, okay, that does happen in class. And then you're like, I love my smartphone because it's so useful for everything, but I must say the internet is the best invention of my lifetime because there's so much useful information. There's a nice little post-apocalyptic question. Some people say that technology will end the world. What do you think? And then I always...
Touch the toaster. I blame the toaster.
Yes, might be the toaster. So you can... So obviously they like these kind of questions because it's current, whatever. But you can tell them like which invention do you think will be responsible. So here you've got, as a teacher, you've got your what, which, how. And you've got 45 seconds. So first answer what, which, how. So you teach them the mind map, like how to do that. So who wants to answer? Is there anybody who wants to answer this question?
The paperclip.
Okay, let's go.
The big paperclip.
What? Everybody, are you ready? Okay, now, sorry, class, we must all make some notes. Okay? So listen to her. Before she go, quickly write down, you already said paperclip.
Yes, sorry.
Write down your guess. What do you think she's going to say? Then everybody writes down a guess. Ne? You know, whatever, you know, drones, Justin Bieber, whatever. So you write down, and then, okay, everybody listen, because afterwards you must tell me what she said. Okay? And then we put the stopwatch on 1, 2, 3, go.
Because eventually somebody will find out that if you clip the ends of all the paper clips in the world together, the world leaders will be too busy trying to find the end of the paperclip chain, and then someone will take over the world while everyone is trying to find the end of the paperclip chain. This is known as my 10-year plan.
Is this from Douglas Adams' book?
No, I made that up.
It sounds very much like
I do love Douglas Adams,
okay.
so I've been probably inspired.
So yeah, so guys, what was her answer? Yes?
Paperclips.
Okay, why?
Because she's going to get a lot of paper clips and chain them together, and all the world leaders are going to find the paperclip. She's going to be taking over the world by doing that.
Okay, do you think it's a good solution?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, very good speaking, ma'am. So if you say why not, then I also compliment students a lot. So if she says why not, I'm like, why not? Guys, why not is in this case, it's a rhetorical question. So if you get, then I'll explain to them as an example. So if you get examined by your examinator, it is good what you did with me. Good job. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, good job. It is good to involve the people you're talking to. So you can ask, you can involve me, say, why not? Or you can say, do you agree with me? Or let me tell you about something that happened to me. So that was a good answer. Okay, what do you think about what she said, sir?
Oh, well, I think that while she is busy with the paper clips, I will put my money on the artificially intelligent technology that you're busy with.
Okay. Okay, guys, so we've got two teams here. We've got the paperclip versus the artificial intelligence. Okay? So I'm going to give, I'm going to give each of you 2 minutes to choose a side and come present your case, and then we see who gets the most votes. Okay? Remember, today we used words like metal, mountains, forest, so please, you must use 5 of these words. You've got 2 minutes starting now. And then, okay, good. See, we're enjoying this. You know, so you just let them enjoy it. Okay, and that's the technology questions as an example. And what do you think about these images? This is normally at the end of the class. You give them like, what do you think of this image, guys? Firstly, what do you see in this picture? Yes, good.
Has she got a pager? Looks like a pager. Yeah. She's clearly enough. She's going to have to run off and do her own. Good. So yeah, like that, then we just have a general discussion. So how does this picture make you feel? Now, how do you feel when you see this picture?
It makes me feel sad.
Sad.
Yes.
Okay. What makes you feel sad?
What makes me feel sad?
Yes.
Dead puppies, people like but I think from looking at this picture, I think I feel embarrassed.
Okay.
Because I've been
Okay. He said he feels embarrassed. Now you try and complete his sentence. Why do you think he feels embarrassed?
I think he feels embarrassed because it's a disgustingly accurate portrayal.
What do you think is disgusting?
I think it's a feeling of self-disgust.
Okay.
He's feeling disgusted with himself.
Okay, good. So,
otherwise, yeah.
but you guys understand, so it's kind of a chain conversation. So one student says sad, then you're like, okay, what makes you sad? Then he uses the word, embarrassed. Then you make a sentence with embarrassed, and then you make a sentence. So it's kind of a chain discussion, because that helps the students to also think kind of on their feet, because they get used to that's the way I teach them. So it's kind of, I'm going to stop you and let somebody finish your sentences and stuff like that. So that's kind of a nice technique to get them going and stuff. So there's, on this thing, there's a bunch of these pictures. There's that one. This obviously is a more emotive answer. Does it make you feel proud of humanity and how far we came? Are you scared of heights? Blah, 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 blah. Do you think this is a workable solution for pollution or the traffic in Hanoi? You know, so you can also bring it back up, you know, and then how does that make you feel? Except that it's glaringly obvious, symbolic stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, you just can have discussions about all these things. As you can see, they're all very different. So, because some students might be more into this kind of, excuse that sound. Some students might be more into, like, I wouldn't say philosophical, but kind of, you know, thinking like this. Some students are more into science. Some students are more into social dynamics, whatever. So the stuff you discuss, try and do various topics so that it piques everybody's interests once you know all the students. And I've talked a lot, I'm sorry. There's a bunch of them. There's music, there's news and current affairs, there's, as you can see, there's a bunch. I've also got a lot of debate ones. We've got some time left. I do have the test thing, I'll show you now. But yeah, so basically, I talked a lot. You didn't really that much, but in terms of IELTS as a course, is there any questions you guys have, that things that you don't feel comfortable with? I think once again, to save our time, because I don't want to waste your time. I know for all of us who teach, you have to go and so forth. So I would appreciate it. I'll write down my email address now. Any questions you have, write it down. I'm not in there's no hierarchy, like, so we share all our questions and anybody can answer. We can all give our angle. I think it's a better way to move forward in creating a cool team and working towards a common goal and kind of having consistency. I think an open discussion is good because you've got some skills I don't have, and you've got some. I mean, we all have different things that make us good teachers, or that make us feel self-conscious, or that make us feel inadequate, or whatever it might be. So I think let's all work together as a team, and then focus on what we're good at and help each other with what we feel we're not.
Is the IELTS coursework, is it set to a curriculum like, say, to everybody else, where you've got 54 hours over a certain period?
Yeah.
It's set quite structured. Is it?
Yeah, you get the book, and very much like your course that you do for the kids, or whatever you want to teach now, it's the same. You log in, you get your login, you get 8th of May is today, so I don't remember, but this is my topic for the day. And then you obviously look at your top. So yeah, the structure, the way it is done is the same.
It always requires a little bit more planning than computers.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think if you guys, if you do the test, get it back to me, and we go through it, maybe do one more training session or two, depending on your time, and then, after we've been through that whole process and you guys start teaching it, I think we must really start looking at, once again, not getting together all the time, not wasting our time, but just, working together as a team and sharing information. I think we've got all the technology to our, we've got this, the school, according to me, has got very good stuff to work with. You've got sound, we've got projective, we've got all the tools, we just need to use it.
But you make them on pathways.
Well, I haven't tried to do it myself, to be honest, but I've got a bunch. I've got about 100 PowerPoints on IELTS. Not all IELTS, some of them are debates. I've got weird ones. I've got one that's like, it's called Arrange the Table. So it's something like, there's 12 people at a birthday party, and then I explain everybody's personalities, but they're all very conflicting personalities. So I'm not going to sit next to him because we're going to fight. So then you must arrange the guests so that it's a pleasant party. I've got a few weird murder mystery ones, like Judo type of stuff, like, oh, there was a murder, this is what happened, who do you think is the killer, and then everybody presents. But that's all still according to the book. That one is on, you talk about the past tense, because the murder already happened, and you describe the people, same with it. So that they all go back to the book. So they're all methods. Any other questions? Nothing. Oh yeah, sure. Do you guys want me to, maybe I must just go into my email and we just make a mass email, and then I can email you all the tests. And what did you say, Jake? 48 hours?
48 hours?
For the test?
The test? After this training?
No, just to send it back to me.
Yes.
Is that fine? So I'll send you the test, and then you can just, when you're done, just email it back to me.
Actually, we need you to send us the test, and then my staff can print it out and hand it for all the teachers here and do it now.
Now?
We can't.
No, we
work
need to go
by
for
five.
lunch.
We have class at 5. We have to leave now at 4 o'clock.
I've got 2 classes, I need to get there early to prepare, so I'll go straight onto this.
So otherwise what we can do, if there is another training session, we can do it in class as well, if you want.
Or just email the test to the individual centres. We could do it at our centre.
Yeah, maybe the census here.
And we can get printed
Well,
at our centre.
I'm going, it's going to be my week off, it's going to be my 2 days off after this, so I won't be back until Sunday. So I'll be going until Sunday.